Okay, hello. Today we're gonna do more stuff with a parabola, and this time we're finally gonna use factoring for things that aren't just factoring. So hopefully that's exciting. Um, so we're gonna talk about standard and intercept forms. So you're just gonna want to know what those are and how to convert between them. I'll get into that now. So, but a little review. Um, so this is back in Algebra 1. You had linear equations. They looked like this. They made lines. Now we're in Algebra 2. We have quadratic equations that look like this. They have an x squared term. And they graph out to become parabolas. Let's... Yeah, that's basically... Is there anything else I want to say? No. Anyways, so these are the equations we're going to be dealing with, and when they look like that, this is them in standard form. So you have this x squared term, you have an x term, a constant term. You could also think of it like this, where I'm putting blanks here, where you can put different numbers. Yeah, this is the advantages of having our parabola equation looking like this. So it's like it's pretty simple. It's what you'd expect. Here are some examples. Here, this like A is 32, the B is 4, the C is -2. You could also be like missing, like you can also have the B or the C be 0. So here you can have like, you can be lacking this bx term, which is fine. That's still in standard form, it's still a quadratic. Here you could be missing the C, which is also fine. So B and C can be 0. A can't really be 0 because then you're just going to basically have a linear equation like this. Then it's not really a quadratic. Another reminder is that y and f of x are really the same. I'm gonna just be switching between them randomly, and hopefully that'll just make it clear that they're really the same thing. Other way to do it is intercept form. So it's basically what we had before, but in factored. So it's gonna look like something that we've been getting from factoring things, where we have these things with parentheses with x plus something or x minus something. You can also have something in the front. They look like this. These are some examples of what they look like. So yeah, it's really just factored. What you had before, but factored. And there is the really good reasons why we like intercept form. But I don't want to explain those yet. But having intercept form is great. But either way, this is nothing too crazy. This is really just unfactored, factored. You can remember standard is standard because it just like looks simpler and more normal. Well, this is a bit more funky. That's really all the new information. We're just kind of going to be applying that. I'll do some examples. Which of these are in standard form? Which are in intercept form? So standard form is the one that's just like 3 terms. So the ones that are like that are this one. Well, intercept form are the factored ones. These two are factored. So these two are our intercept forms here. Okay, and then another little question type I'll do, is where I ask you to convert something to the other form. So this one right now, this is looking like intercept. Oh yeah, and something important is that this is like, these are different forms, so you can switch between them. And we're gonna be doing that a lot. So here, this is intercept, and we want to turn it into standard. How do we do that? So to get to intercept, we factor. So we want to do the opposite of that to get to standard, which is distributing. And like you can assume that like when looking at this, something you can do is distribute. Okay, so there's three things here that are all being multiplied with each other. There's 2, there's x plus 2, and x minus 1. So we are going to be multiplying them together. We're going to be distributing. It doesn't matter which order you do it in, but just remember that you can only multiply 2 things at a time. I'm going to do it so that we do these 2 things first. I want to multiply these 2 things first. And we're going to distribute there. If you want, I'll put it in a box. Okay, so x times x squared, x times -1 is negative x times 2 is 2x, and 2 times -1 is -2. And then the other thing we want to do is combine like terms, so 2x and -x. You can think of this as -1x if you want, but that's just x. So now, so this was our answer. Now we also just want to we multiplied these 2 things together. Now we also need to multiply this 2. So you can put it like this, and then we're going to distribute again. This times I won't do the box. So 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times -2 is -4. And boom, we're done distributing. And yeah, that looks like standard form. Definitely looks like standard form, so that's good. You could like I said though, you can do it in other ways though. Like we started by multiplying these 2 things first. If you want, you can multiply these 2 things first, 2 and x plus 2. So we distribute 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 2 is 4. And then we just want to multiply it with that other thing. And yeah, we're just going to distribute again. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times -1 is -2x. 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times -1 is -4. And then these 2 guys combine. -2 plus 4 is 2. So it's 2x. Yeah, unless I made a mistake somewhere, this should be the same answer that we got before. So it doesn't matter what order you distribute things in. You just want to distribute things 2 at a time. Convert to the other form. So this is standard, and we want to get to intercept, which means we want to factor it. So this is basically just factoring. You can really not ignore this part. This is going to stay the same, but you're going to factor this part. So this number here is -1. If you remember, this is the number we add up to. So it's when we multiply to. -6, what's the way to get to -6? Oh my god, my alarms. So one has to be negative, be like -2 times 3. But that adds up to 1, not -1. So we could switch the signs. It could be 2 and -3 maybe. And those add up to -1. So that's our pair that we want. Ooh, so let's, other thing we have to do, which I almost forgot, make sure you include the y, but then you just include your answer. Okay. 1 second, get water. Okay. Another example. This one's intercept form, and we want to go back to standard form. This is the one where you distribute in. Here, I'll do it this order first. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times -5 is -15. And good, now we just have to distribute these two things together. Uh, 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 5 is 15x. -15 times x, -15x. -15 times, oh my god. Why are you not working? -15 times 5 is -75. And combining like terms here, 15 plus -15 is 0. So these guys actually cancel each other out. Or you can think of it as 0x. Either way. This is our answer. Ooh, we want the y though. Don't forget the y. Okay. One more example. This is standard form, and we want to go to intercept form, which once again means we have to factor it. So once again, you always want to pull this out when there's a number in front of x squared. So we'll pull out 4. 4 times what is 4x squared? It's x squared. And 4 times what is -16x? That would be -4x. So this is one of those weird problems from last time. This is under Quirk 3. There was 2 methods to it. I'm gonna do the faster one. When both of them are an x, you want to pull out that x. So this 4 stays the same, but you could also pull out the x. And then x times what is x squared? That would be x. And then x times what is -4x. You just want that -4. That's the only part we're missing. And boom, we're basically done. We also just want to include our y. And then this would be our answer. So, relatively simple. Like the only things you need to know is what is intercept form, what is standard form, and then start practicing converting between them. So hopefully it should be pretty chill. And yeah, I'll think we're getting more in the meat of potatoes of parabolas. We should be almost there.